Hi Ohio anglers! Well, it's January outside and Portage Lakes at least is frozen and full of snowmobilers and ice fishermen rather than boats. So instead of being out there fishing, what better place to be than on a comfy cozy couch cleaning and playing with your tackle. Today, in today's Tackle Talk, we're going to be working on our spinnerbaits. Spinnerbaits are one of my favorite lures to catch, and I actually had this little devil, something similar to it. I doctored it up and I'll show you how later, but this was awesome on Ohio waters for me all year last year. It is a Terminator stainless steel bait. I actually changed the Indiana blade out to a willow leaf blade. But I really loved this bait. I caught multiple fish and decent sized fish on every water that we fished in Ohio this year on this bait. And we'll get back to how I doctored it up later. I'm not gonna leave you hanging on my secrets there. Well, let's talk about what you can do to a spinnerbait over the winter to doctor it up. One of the reasons that spinnerbaits are my favorite baits is that there's so many different things that you can do. Of course, the first thing you want to do is check your hooks and make sure all of your hooks are sharp. Also, a lot of times, you know, spinner blades get tossed off, so I have a bunch of spinnerbaits in our boxes here that I'm going to be changing or putting new blades on. And that's one of the first things I wanted to talk about is the blades. You can change the blades out. They always come with a standard combination, but they're pretty easy to change out by just removing this the clip here or split ring and changing out the blade for a different color, a different shape, a different size, something maybe for a different season, time of year. So that's one of the things that you can change out. And you've got, you know, so many different choices that you could do with the back blade here. Another decision you can make is whether you want to use just the spinnerbait hook or if you want to attach a trailer hook onto it. I apologize, I don't have any because I don't use them, but it's actually a trailer hook that you can slide over here that gives you an extra hook to make sure that you catch the fish that are going after the spinnerbait. Now, onto the front of the spinnerbait, there are many different things that you can do here. This spinnerbait came with this skirt on it, chartreuse and white skirt. Now with a skirt like this, you could trim it to many different sizes. You could leave it long like this, you could trim it up and just have a short little spray of skirting. So that's all different ways that you can customize your skirt. And this one actually is a already one-piece skirt. But one of the things that you can do is get kits so that if your skirt ever gets mangled or eaten up, you can actually buy kits and you can put together, this is a little messy, but it's a whole bunch of the different hairs. You can make your own color combinations, and they come actually with the little rubber bands that you can pull them through and hook it onto your hook actually. Now, the other thing, if you don't like the skirts, you can also fish a spinnerbait without a skirt, just with a head and maybe a trailer or a swim head body or something like that. So that's another inventive thing that you can do with your spinnerbait. So there's a bunch of different ways that you actually can fish the spinnerbait. Now let's get back to one of the other things I like to do is everything, if you use any kind of fish attractant, sometimes it gets all over the blades. So one of the other things that I really like to do is wipe off those blades. And you can see that these are actually painted blades. And one of the tricks I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go back to my favorite bait here. And one of the things I do is instead of painting the blade, I took a red magic marker and I colored this little silver Colorado blade at the top red. It worked for me. I don't know if that was it or not, but for some reason this spinnerbait with a red Colorado blade and a gold willow leaf blade on the back worked really, really well for me. I left the skirt exactly how it was, and on the back I added a yellow twin tail grub. And that's all I did with that bait all summer long. And for me, I've always liked the color red, so That's, maybe it was psychological, maybe it had something to do with the red or not, but whatever I did, whatever spinnerbait I had on, didn't catch fish until I put the one with the little red Colorado blade and the gold willow leaf on, and I caught fish on every lake in Ohio. So there's our spinnerbait tackle talk for today. See you guys in February. Hopefully we'll be looking forward to the thaw by then. For more tackle talk and fishing techniques, along with all of your Ohio lake maps and boating ramps and fish species information, check us out at gofishohio.com.